Come on in, guys. Come on and set a spell with us. We're going to take you along on our journey. It's been interesting. Let me fill you in. For those of you that are new, welcome. Come on in. This is Konnee's Little Corner. We're going to have a little chit chat about Miss Nala first, okay? I'll give you a little bit of an update. We still have a few days before she goes back to the vets to check on the status of her bladder infection. But she is making improvements. She is eating normally. Her discomfort in that area seems to be gone. No more struggles in that area. So I'd like to think we're making positive strides. But it's a very good thing that we are, because until that infection is completely cleared up, Nala can't have surgery. Yeah. We're not sure exactly what the problem is, but we have suspicions. A few days ago, Nala started limping. It was a gradual limp. It wasn't anything sudden. It came on slowly. At first, we thought, well, maybe it's just arthritis, or maybe it's muscle soreness because she's not used to going up and down the stairs here at the house. And she's very rambunctious when she goes up and down the stairs. She takes them two at a time or completely flies over them from the top step all the way down to the ground without even touching a stair. So we thought, well, maybe she's got a muscle issue. Maybe she twisted a knee or twisted a hip or just has some soreness from going up and down the stairs. Well, she came off the anti-inflammatory and the pain medication that she had been on for the bladder issue. She ended that on Sunday. That was Sunday morning was her last. As of Sunday night, you could tell she was in pain. All of a sudden, she started limping more predominantly. She was holding up her back paw. She didn't want to put a lot of weight on it. She would walk on it a little bit, and she would limp. She would go up and down the stairs, but then she would limp after she did that. That's not normal for that to come out of nowhere. So I immediately had suspicions that either she had hip dysplasia that is just now showing itself because this is the first time she's really had to do a lot of stairs. Or she tore her CCL, what you and I would call an ACL, that tendon in the knee joint. She either partial tear or a full tear of that, or it's a simple muscle sprain. Unfortunately, we don't know which, but it is looking, because of the manipulation of the knee joint, when you hear that popping sound, that's an indication that the tendon isn't holding the joint in place. So it indicates either a partial tear or a full tear. So for right now, for about 10 days, we have her back on anti-inflammatories and pain relief. We're going to see if it improves any, if her limping continues, because the medication she's on is not enough to mask any high level of pain. It's only to give her some comfort and minimize her pain. So I have to continue to be a uber observant mama and keep an eye on my girl to see how she's doing, so that when we go back to the vets, believe our trip is December 1st, actually, in just a couple of days. So when we go back, we'll be able to report to him. If necessary, at that point, he will give her a light sedation and do further, more intense manipulation and or x-ray of that knee joint to see what we're looking at. But worst case scenario, we're looking at surgery. My poor girl, such is the life of a shelter dog. If any of you have ever rescued from a shelter, then you already know what I'm about to say. If you've never rescued from a shelter, please don't let what I'm about to tell you deter you from doing so. The first 90 days from the time that you adopt a shelter dog, regardless of the age or breed or size of that dog, The first 90 days is when you're going to get to see the dog's personality, their personality traits, their little quirks, certain behaviors, what patterns they're either have developed or are starting to develop, and what medical issues they have. The medical issues surface once they're more so in a home where they're getting regular vet visits, they're being observed and watched by their new adoptive family. You start to see things that just don't get seen when they're in a shelter. The staff at the shelter doesn't have time. They don't spend the kind of time with an animal that we spend with them as their family. So we get to see what's going on. Shelters also don't have the capacity to do all the kind of tests that our personal vets can do for our animals. I've been a dog mommy for a long time, and I've had a lot of shelter dogs, a lot of rescues in my life. So I know what to look for, and I know when it's time to do that vet visit. Last weekend, or well, almost 2 weeks ago now, when her signs and symptoms of a bladder infection came up, I got her right away to the vets, and sure enough, it was a bladder infection and UTI. Now that she started this limping yesterday, I got her, well, yesterday when I'm reviewing this, on Sunday, this past Sunday, now you're seeing this, I think, on Friday, but the past Sunday, I got her to the vets as quickly as I could, because if it is an actual ACL tear or CCL tear, then we want to minimize the amount of pain she's in. We want to minimize any further damage. We want to know what we can do until we can make that final determination. So what I have to do is, she's not getting her daily walks anymore. Her being up and on that knee is limited now to only going outside to relieve herself or changing position within the house. No more walks, no more running up and down the stairs. I have to keep her on a leash as we go up and down the stairs to make sure she doesn't bound down them or go crazy trying to come up them and then do more damage. She's tough. She doesn't show that she has a lot of pain or she has any pain. But I'm kind of glad that she's letting her hair down and letting me see that she hurts. That tells me that she's trusting me to make it better. And that's what I'm going to do. So there's the update on Miss Nala. The second thing about Miss Nala that I wanted to share, and a lot of you have messaged me about it. I had posted a video called Nala's Journey. It was up for about 2 hours only before I had to take it down. And the reason being is that YouTube decided to demonetize. In other words, they believe that I had used copyrighted audio clips, music clips in that video. And until they could confirm it, they were not going to allow ads to run during my video. They weren't going to allow me to be monetized and earn anything from that video being shown. And anything I did earn, they were going to pay to a third party, believing that I didn't have any right to that music. All the music that I have ever used in that video and previous I make sure are copyright free and royalty free. They all come from the YouTube library, where YouTube says, okay, cost you nothing to get these, cost you nothing to use this, and you don't have to pay royalties on it. So it doesn't make sense what they did, but I was not about to let 80 hours of hard work and anything that I could earn from that video through the ads and through the views, I wasn't going to let all that go to somebody else. No. So I had to take it down. I could not delete the music tracks because they're already integrated into the video. It's all cohesive now. It's not like I can't separate them out anymore because the video is closed. It's finalized. The only thing that I could do is mute those areas that were in question. So I muted them. I re-uploaded it, and darned if YouTube didn't say, oh, well, here's another section that you can't play because it's copyright protected. No, I am not going to go through any more editing with it. What I will do is I will put together just some simple photographs and a little bit. There might not be any music to the background of it. It might just be a slideshow to keep you, but I thought it had come out beautiful. For those of you that had seen it, there was more than 60 of you that had seen it in just the first hour that it was up. I do hope that you enjoyed the backstory and the journey on it, and cross your fingers that YouTube releases it and agrees with me that nothing is copyrighted. There's no violation there. It's not a ding against my channel. It's either I let it run and somebody else gets all the money for all the work I did, or I don't let it run. Not letting it run. Sorry, guys. Not going to happen. But what is going to happen? I've got a box that's been sitting here for a couple of weeks. And we're going to get into it. And then I've got one thing from Walmart that I am so glad I finally got. I can't wait to show you all the deal that I got in this. So this box, it's a pretty good sized box. This came from SunshineThriftd. SunshineThriftd is a place that I have been through at Whatnot several times. This was from a show on November 13th, and I received all this stuff on November 17th. It came that quickly. Let me see what, we got anything on here? No. Okay. I'm going to show you everything I got, if I can find it. Of course, I got some things for Miss Nala. Who wouldn't want things for Miss Nala? This is the softest owl, guys. Seriously. This, and one other thing I'm going to show you. This owl was part of a special promotion that was done. And right now, if you can find them, you can get them for about $10 or $12. But the special promotion was that they were going for $5. And that was contributions were going to, I don't remember what the fund was. I'll look it up and put it up here for you so that you can see. But short term, for very short term, and it was rarity if you could find them, they went for $5. I got this for $8. This is a PetSmart Wonder toy. Totally stuffed, no squishies, no squeakies. Oh, there is a squeaky. I found it right at the neckline. But you probably can't hear it. Super soft, just another little cuddle bug for the Miss Nala. She needs more suckle bugs. To go along with that one, I got this. Isn't this the cutest little bear? 2025 bear. Same scenario. Was part of a promotion, a fundraiser. Squeaker right there in the neck. Again, this one retailed during that charity drive for $5, but typically retails for about $12, and I got this one for $6. I love when PetSmart does charity drives, because if you pay attention, you go to PetSmart and you just type in the word charity in the search bar, it will let you know what it's running for charity drives. So that's when you get the real steal deals on these things. Who ever heard of getting something this big for like $5, right? On the charity drive? Okay. We got lots of things in here. Hold on. Yeah. Did not get these as a set, but I'm going to show them to you. This is a Christmas, kind of winter. I don't know. It doesn't have anything Christmas on it. Like, it doesn't have any trees or anything. It's just a harness that's red, but it's reversible. You can do the plaid, which is more like a summertime color, or you can do the dark red, which is more of a winter. I love this because it's got the little claw prints on it. This is a merry and bright harness. This particular one, it is reversible. It's an extra large. This sells for $19.99. That's how much it sells for. I got it for $5. $5. This is like super soft. $5 for this. Now, when I saw this, I said, oh, the next thing she holds up is this. This is an attached little bow, but can you see the patterns? I said, you know what? I got to have it so that when she's wearing this, she can wear this. I don't care about the bow. I may even take the bow off. It's kind of cute. So this collar typically sells for $12.99, but I got this for $6. So $12.99 for that, $19.99 for this. So $13 and $20, you're talking $33 worth of items that I got for $11. And they're coordinated. Pretty cool, right? She can't keep wearing the same harness over and over again. It's got to be cleaned. And you know how I feel about her having a variety of collars, right? Okay. Next item. Another $12.99 collar. This one is winter with the hat and the little mittens on it. It's got the little bow on it. This is $12.99 just for this. Wait till you hear the deal I got on this one. The leash, this is a matching leash, and this is very, very stiff leash. Yes, it'll go with the red too, right? There you go. The leash alone sells for $8.99. I got the entire set, the 2 pieces, the leash and the collar, for $5. It's a steal. And she had more sets, different sizes, excuse me, different colors, different patterns. I think Nala is going to look great in this dark green. And December 1st is only a couple days away, guys. I have a lot of decorating to do outside. Okay. The next thing I got, not one, but 2 candy cane striped with bling on them. Each of these collars sells for $12.99 a piece. $26 worth of collars right here, guys. I got both of them for $7. I'm going to gift these. There's 2 new dogs that moved in next door, and Nala is going to gift these as Christmas gifts to our new neighbors. I think they're going to look just great. Aren't they cute? Look at the sparkle in them. Especially one of the dogs next door is jet black. It's going to look great on that door. And these are big enough. These will adjust to fit both the dogs next door. I don't imagine either one will have a problem. I just don't know how their mama feels about having collars like this, but we'll gift them and we'll see what happens. It's a great deal. Okay. A winter scarf. Little pom-poms on the bottom. This scarf typically sells for about $8. It has a little band here in the center. You put this around the dog's neck. You feed one of the pom-poms through the loop. You loop it through, and it holds the scarf on the dog's neck. So the dog has a little crisscross of the scarf hanging down. Great idea, right? Typically retails for $8, but I picked this up for $3. I just thought this would be nice instead of her collar being around her neck, up against her neck, that this might be nice to go around her neck when she doesn't need to wear a collar, when she's wearing her harness. This can go around her neck. And I love the colors because if you remember, she's got the cranberry and peach colored hoodie that will go with. So that's what I got that for. $3. It's a great deal. Okay, still got more. Oh my goodness. All right, hold on. 2, 4. Hold on, gotta get more. 6, 8. I don't know if I can pick these all up at once. I don't think I can. I don't know. 8 rolls. Each one has 10 bags, I believe. Let me double check. Yep, 10 count. These are poo bags. So I've got 80 poo bags. And they're holiday design, which is kind of cool, actually. Especially when I'm walking her and I have to pick up after her. So I've got 80 poo bags. Typically, those 8 will sell for $13.99 for a pack of 8. And I got the 8 for $5. Not bad considering it's something that you put waste in and throw it away. I don't like to spend a lot of money on that kind of stuff. So I thought that was a really good deal. All right. And the last thing is another harness for my girl. This one is definitely a spring and summer harness. It's an Arcadia Trail. This is a heavy duty fluorescent orange, and I know it doesn't look it, but this is bright orange. And this has orange and pink and silvery stripes in it. Look at that. Look at that. That's reflective. Heavy metal on this. These are metal, not plastic. This is big. This is an extra large. It's got the nice solid padding on the inside. Look at that. So that it's soft against the skin. It doesn't scratch. It's thick and it's padded. They call this a quick dry harness. So if a dog happens to get wet in this, it'll dry quickly on them. It'll air them out. It has the nice, good, solid grip. I love the color. You might remember the collar I got for her that has that southwestern look with the orange and the plateau on it. That's what this is going to go with. So she'll have another springtime harness set, heavy duty, Arcadia Trail. Absolutely love this. Love it, love it, love it. And I love that it has this across the back so that where it does go across her back, it's as padded as it is on her belly. My dog is so spoiled. She's going to be so spoiled. She already is spoiled, right? Now, how much does this beast cost? Typically, this sells for $48. That's the retail price of this puppy. $48. I got it for $10. Any kind of Arcadia Trail that you can get, whether it's a harness, a leash, collar, that you can get for only $10? Hello? They don't make them any tougher than this. And when you have a bully breed, that's what you need. All right. The last thing in this box was actually a gift. And I was trying to win one of these in the auction, but they just kept getting outbid. And I wasn't going to spend a small fortune on this. This is a snuzzle. There was a person in the auction that is a fanatic for snuzzles. And she was buying every single one, and she was getting crazy. The prices were getting crazy because a snuzzle typically sells for $12.99, this size. That's what they are. They have little squeakies in them, but you know what? Nala never really squeaks anything. She just suckles on them. And this is the perfect size to give her a little bit of comfort. And it's kind of, wintry. It's a little reindeer. So this was gifted. Just a little sticker that said for Nala, which I thought was the sweetest thing ever that Karen did that. So she's got a snuzzle. I just wanted her to have one. She should, right? Okay. Sunshine Thrifted. Still going to get 5 stars. Great selection, great prices. I cannot believe the holiday stuff that she had. Guys, you got to go because she still has an enormous amount. And if you have smaller dogs, OMG, you have got to see the most adorable accessories, outfits, outerwear, pajamas. I got a bigger dog, which is a little harder to get the things to fit the bigger dogs, and not all the shops carry the stuff for the bigger dogs. But Sunshine Thrifted always carries the larger size harnesses and collars and stronger leashes and that kind of thing. So I'm really, really happy with it. Okay, the last thing I want to show you actually came from Walmart. Hold on. This is something that I needed for things that I had gotten off of Whatnot. Now, typically, I would go to the regular hardware store to get this. I'd go to like True Value or Ace or even one of the big box stores. But believe it or not, this exact same product in all of those other stores was cheaper at Walmart. So that's why I got it at Walmart. Oh, it's stuffing out. What is it, you ask? It is a gallon of kerosene. This is what I need to put in here and to put into my other kerosene lamps. So if you bear with me for a second, I'm actually going to show you this gallon, $11. Free shipping, $11. Cheaper than any place else I could get it. So give me a second. Let's top this off and show you just how wonderful these kerosene lamps look. So with kerosene, when you're pouring, you have to make sure that you pour in an area that you don't get it all over the place. I used the box to protect it and make sure it didn't go all over the floor. And then I could get rid of it. You should always use, when you're filling your container, you should always use some sort of a funnel to make sure that you don't have all that spillage. And then you let your wick start to soak up all the kerosene that's in there. Because if you don't, you're not going to be able to light it. It's got to have the kerosene on it. So we're going to give it a minute or two to soak it up, and then we're going to light this. Do you see it looks just like water? Looks like vodka. Doesn't smell like vodka. There you go. Nice, small, steady flame. It will continue to burn until that part of the wick has burned away and it gets below a certain point. With these, just like with any other flame-based, you turn it down. And your flame will go out or next to out. At this point, it'll be out in a matter of seconds. You don't have to blow them out, but you can. Smokeless. No smoke coming out. Smells like typical kerosene, but it's not overwhelming. That's how easy it is. When I want to relight it, now that I have the fluid in it, all I have to do is turn the wick up so that I can actually see it. You see it popping up there, a little bit of blackness popping up. Take a match to that, it'll light immediately. The more flame you need, the brighter light you need, you turn it up higher. When you want to stop it, you turn it down. Now I can put kerosene in the one that's out on the front porch, the old Pullman's lantern. I have this one for in the house. You can't even tell. It doesn't have any weight to it. But guys, it's great. Kerosene, you have to keep it safe. This is going to go out in the shed. You don't mess around with it. You can also use kerosene, obviously, as a fire starter for any type of kindling that you might use, especially if your wood is wet and you're doing an outside fire pit. Kerosene has a lot of different uses for it. Make sure you double check how to use it and use it safely. This, I have no worries about this. This is closed up tightly. It's going to be in a spot in the house that I am not worried about it tipping or getting knocked over. I just use regular matches to light it. Easy, right? That's it. Okay, so short video update on the Nala girl. Because of the different things that Nala is going through medically right now, I've pretty much put everything else on hold as far as shopping goes. It's food necessities and Nala's medical necessities. She and I have to get through this first 90 days. These things that I have here, and I have a 1, 2, 3, 4 more boxes, 5 more smaller orders sitting here ready to be opened and reviewed. Hopefully by the time I get Nala over this hump, we get through her medical issues, then I can get back to doing things. But in the meantime, you get to see a little bit of this. You get to see a little bit of that. You're going to get to see more cooking. I have my ingredients for meatloaf. So that is going to be next up, probably in a week or so. But in the meantime, big thumbs up. Don't forget to hype and or share. And if you're not yet subscribed to Konnee's Little Corner, please consider doing so. We would love to have you as part of the family. And I promise I will release some sort of a video on Nala's journey. I am waiting for the determination on my dispute with YouTube to see if I can release the one I actually created, or if I have to create a whole new one, something completely different. We'll see. Cross your fingers and come back soon, because I'll be here waiting for you. Okay?